Hello, good afternoon guys. This is going to be a quick 10-minute video update about some discussions that I've had this morning, the early afternoon, with a valued friend on here, trusted valued friend, regarding sending a statement of truth to the Queen and regarding affidavits and processes of which we need to employ and possibly should follow after consideration and review. Up to press, I have written an affidavit statement of truth to the Prime Minister outlining my position as a sovereign man of the landmass England, and also my understanding of the 2D legal fiction straw man in relation to statute law and when I'm obliged or when I should consider not following it. As I said before, there is the government's governing guidelines on statute law. I will post a link to this reference source, which I know is true and correct, under the video in a link afterwards. That statute law is only given the full force of the law by the consent of the governed. So in this letter to Theresa May, the Prime Minister, as is now, I've outlined that I will choose when I am a man and when I am going to be a citizen. And the reasons for that would be, if I require hospital treatment, maybe I want to, draw upon the state-owned name, which my name is on my birth certificate, and under statute, law, I am allowed to receive treatment under that name. I am operating as the agent of. I won't charge anybody for it because I've paid into the system through my national insurance contributions and my PAYE system. Times when you want to be a man would be when I would demand, require, wish and request access to my property, my children, through the Child Services Authority. I'm no longer with the mother anymore. You understand, when people split up, the woman always gets custody of the children as default, and this is a very good reason why not to. So as I said in my previous video, I've had a 2-year legal battle, starting in a magistrates, going up to a Crown Court with a barrister, totaling 20 grand to get a court writ to get access to my children. So me and my very good respected friend on here have said why I would want to do this and write this letter to the Queen. They have said it's not a very good idea, you'll upset the monarchy, they'll take offence to it, you'll make life difficult for yourself, you don't really want to consider the actions of what you're doing, which I have done, and that's why I've put the various posts on the group this morning saying that I'm rethinking what my intended actions are and why I'm going to rethink them. On my property, I have put up signs which are remove rights of access, implied rights of access to any government body, agency. I will put these links up underneath this video as well. People that are coming to collect with regards to extracting money from me as a man, but using my person to do that, trying to create joinder from the living man to the dead 2D legal fiction straw man. So alongside this removed implied rights of access form, I have also put a notification saying that common law jurisdiction applies exclusively to my property. I'm not a homeowner, I'm a private rented person renting the property. Man, not person. See, it's very easy. You need to get into this in the mindset of saying who you are and what you are, which is why I keep doing these videos, because it's good rehearsal for me to when I actually do go into court and start arguing again. So yeah, these have been sent to the council, copies of, and I sent the letter to the council regarding my statement of truth and who I am, how I view myself on the landmass England, and also what the corporation England is. You know from my previous video that the government, council, local government office is a business, the police are a business, the Queen's is a 2D legal fiction name, the courts are a business, the what do we call them now, the Prime Minister and the parties, the political parties are all registered as businesses. Everything is a business and a corporation. So we, the living people, do not have to bow to the corporations. They are dead, they are non-living entities. I've specified an abbreviation of this upon the notification about common law jurisdiction applies upon my property. I've put down that they will be charged with trespass if once they've read the notice and they do not leave, a £5,000 incursion fee upon that notice. This is all very good. I believe this to be quite within our rights and to have no negative repercussions. It's to defend your castle. The Englishman's home is his castle, and I'm defending it against people like I call gangsters and bullies coming to seize property, goods to the value of, and making demands upon my person, which they have no right to attach that person to me as a man unless I decide that I want that to happen. And if I don't want that to happen, I will tell them explicitly it's not going to happen. So we're not writing a letter to the Queen, and we're going to talk about this. I bet there's some comments already flowing from the three good men, friends that I've appointed today in the Sovereign Solicitors group. I am now back at work full time and I'm unable to devote all of the time that I want to devote to you to answer your questions and to help you and guide you and point you into the correct research avenues of which you need to go in. These gentlemen, I know, are not disinformation people. I know that they will help and guide you. They've done so to me over the last 6 months to a year and a half. I've no qualms with making them admins and leaving them to answer your questions, put their own posts up, join in conversations, discussions, and guide you as I have been doing over the last 9 months since about November 2015. There is no rule book for me to give to you or reference you to or point out the step-by-step measures of which we need to take to reclaim our dominion and to protect ourselves as men and women of the landmass England, and then how to be governing yourself as a self-governing sovereign being upon your day-to-day activities. There is common law on this land and we follow that implicitly, and once again, do not commit harm, injury, loss, and then obviously fraud in your day-to-day dealings and activities, business. We are oath keepers. We should all have an oath and present that to anybody that may question our integrity with regards to our conduct within the landmass England. Like I said, you can choose when you want to be your dead person, 2D legal fiction, straw man or government state-owned name. You might want to sign on and get money when you become unemployed and have council tax paid, your rent credited, your account, get hospital treatment. There are bonuses of being able to choose when you want to be the 2D legal fiction, and there are benefits of being able to choose when you don't want to be that. And as it's governable by consent, this should all be quite straightforward and easy to follow. Again, the videos and links and sources for this will be posted underneath later on. These three guys, going back again, can confirm or deny all this information, and they will help out immensely because I'm too busy to deal with these 500 and odd people. I'm very proud to have you in the group. There was a gentleman removed today for non-conforming conduct in the way of negative comments, not putting up anything positive, trying to pull us down, mentioning that the freeman aspect that John Harris was championing is not the way forward, and it's just a load of rubbish. As I've mentioned before, I'm not trying to champion the freeman issue. It's a great concept like Christianity, but it doesn't actually work. I'm not getting into religious things now, but Christians preach about helping and sharing and caring and turning the other cheek and so forth, but I don't see it ever being put into practice. This is a summarised quote from the late great George Carlin. I'm aware of the Vatican, how much gold it's got in the cellars of its establishment in Rome, and they don't get the gold out and help people and feed the world or anything. So this is why I'm saying it's a great concept, but it's not been put into practice. The freeman concept is not going to work in the establishments, in the law courts or anything to help you, but your inalienable constitutional rights will, and drawing upon this will help you, knowing how to deal with a black robe and the clerk and remaining outside of the court on land, not submitting any jurisdiction to the black robes and judge and the judicial court system, either under common law or admiralty law. Your certificate, whether it be your registration document or your birth certificate, will be submitted and put onto the record in the court, and that will be sufficient enough for the judge to try the offences of the statute, law or legislation, or whichever it is, and he will deal with that. And you can rest assured remain on dry land and not under the jurisdiction of this establishment law society as it is. And they don't act upon their oaths as such as what we believe them to. By you entering the dock, you are entering into a contract. When you stand up in court, when the judge walks in, are you aware that you've given up your rights to be tried under common law and by a jury of your peers? It's very crafty. You need to know quite a lot of stuff. Again, I can't write all this down. This time I'm a lot calmer, I'm a lot more focused, and I'm trying to explain to you the reason why we're not writing a letter to the Queen. There's so much more research we need to do, so much more discussion we need to do, and these three gentlemen that have been appointed will assist me and you very greatly. They are excellent people to talk to. One of them's got over 25 years of common law service, so I understand from speaking to him that he knows a great deal more than myself. So just bear with me and bear with the group. We will all benefit from this in the long term. I haven't basically got any definitive answers, but we will work them out together and we will win this fight in the long run. We will take it slow and steady, and once I have been to court and recorded what I've got to do with regards to council tax, PCNs, if I decide to go to court, then I will update you and give you the proof, because I will be recording it. But until then, we will follow the advice of what's happened already, what's been recorded in court, what's been captured secretly, the judge is getting up and walking off. I have another video somewhere of people wanting to arrest the judge because he was not acting under his oath. He'd caused disrespect to his peers and everybody else in the business. There was quite a lot of people in that court in Nottingham. The BBC did report on it. There was about 250 people outside, and inside there was 100 easy. The court was filled, and they wanted to arrest the judge because he was acting not under his oath, and they called him out for it. They took over the court, and they mentioned that this wasn't acceptable. The judge did try to get them all thrown out, and the police was called in to attend. When the BBC did actually report on it, there was only 3 people present, and they made it look, they'd summarised it in a few seconds, a minute or two. And compared to what we actually see is unbelievable. So we have the power to arrest judges as well. There's lots of things we are able to do. So once again, the main issue is, how do we keep our dominion and keep from being a dead person and a living person, and we get this down and write to the relevant governing bodies to do this, which doesn't involve a letter to the Queen, then maybe just to the MP, the PM and the police metropolitan districts and the local council in a correct format, outlining it in your own way. We don't need to take a letter, a pre-formatted letter, and just put your name in it. You need to fully understand the complexity of the issue, what's at hand, the implications of it, and what suits you. You don't just take what I've written, what suits me and what I need to do for my well-being in the landmass England as a man, and then copy it for yourself, because it might not suit you. So you need to think about what you want, what the benefits are, what the what the pros and cons are of all this, and why you're doing it, not just because it sounds like a good idea and you think you can do what you want. No, we still need to remain honourable and keep our oaths, and act in a decent way, and not be subject to fines, parking offences, stuff like that, people coming to your house, but gangsters and bullies, people ringing you up all the time, people making you feel ill, maybe wanting to turn to drink or drugs, commit suicide. This is why I'm here. I know people that have been severely affected by all of this, going to food banks and not having enough money and working 2 jobs, paying higher rates of tax. It's disgusting, and there is ways around it, and you can assert yourself cheaply and freely. But I'm finding that within the nature of this investigation and journey, the information is conflicting from what I'm hearing off one side to another side by its own nature. So we will talk about this more, and the 3 amigos that are now got jurisdiction of the group as given to by myself will also comment and advise. You guys recommend any friends and people that you think may know a lot about this subject or can help us out and comment on this. And anybody again that pulls down us for being free men will be addressed and removed after a debate, a nice, friendly, constructive debate, and I have got an infinite amount of time in this body, and I've got an infinite amount of free time. I don't want to or expect to use it arguing with people about the freeman issue. We're not governing the freeman issue. Like I say, it's a great concept. We are sovereign, self-governing beings of this landmass, created by our parents and answerable to the creator, whether you call that God, Allah, Ganesh, Buddha, all it's still God, the Lord, the creator. It's just a different name given. And we need to understand the chain of the command and the structure, and who we're responsible and answerable to, and when, and who we are going to be as and when, and what the benefits and the contractual obligations of that are. And if it is a contract and you do decide to enter into the dock and make a contract with the judge or the black robes in there, then you need to make sure you get something out of it. When you go to a restaurant, and I'm not talking McDonald's or anywhere, a proper restaurant, and you give an order and you order your food, you get a bill. So when you go to court and the judge or the black robes try to give you an order to do something, you naturally want to give them a bill back, as stated in the Bill of Rights. There's a lot of in-depth research and discussion to be had, but primarily this one is just for how to be a man and how to be a woman, or choose to be your legal state-owned named 2D legal fiction straw man, and what the benefits of being that are, and the pros and cons, and what the benefits aren't, and when you should do this, and how you notify the people that you understand this. And I've had some good information this morning, of which I'm going to take on board and share with you now and later today. Hopefully I'll come back and put some commentary on this, and commentary in the group as well. So one love, everybody. I will say peace, love and light, and ciao for now.